Namaste everyone, welcome to 5th lecture of magnetic effect of electric current. This is Rajesh. In this lecture we are going to see electromagnetic induction, Fleming's right hand rule and DC and AC current. Let us first discuss electromagnetic induction. The production of electricity from magnetism is called electromagnetic induction. Now in the previous topic we have seen that when there is flow of current in a conductor, then magnetism creates around that electric conductor. The reverse of this is also possible, that when I change magnetic field around a conductor, then electricity is produced in the conductor. This mechanism, that is production of electricity from magnetism or from change in magnetism, is called electromagnetic induction. This effect of producing electricity from magnetism was discovered in 1831 by Faraday. Now we are going to see two different activities or two different experiments. First, straight wire and U-shaped magnet. Now here you can see magnet and a straight conductor. Now this straight conductor is connected with a sensitive center zerometer or a galvanometer. Now this galvanometer is an instrument which indicates presence of current. So when current is flowing in the conductor, galvanometer shows deflection in one particular direction. Zero level indicates that there is no flow of current, and there are different markings which indicate different amount of current flowing in the conductor. Now when I move this wire in this direction 1, 2, that what I see that there is change in needle of galvanometer, that means it indicates that there is flow of current. So when I move this wire in direction 1, I will find that deflection in one direction, and when I move this in direction 2, I will find the direction of needle is reversed. If I move this conductor in along 3, 4 direction, there is no change in the needle of galvanometer. So from this what we conclude, that as I move this conductor relative to magnet, there is generation of current or there is production of current in the conductor. Now this current is produced because of magnetism, because of magnet, and hence we call this current as induced current. So what is induced current? The current generated or the current produced in the conductor because of magnetism is called induced current. So here there is a relative motion between this conductor and this magnet, and because of that there is generation of current in the conductor. Now let us see one more activity. We will see bar magnet and coil. So here we have one coil which is again connected to galvanometer. Now I have a bar magnet which I move in and out of the coil. So when I move this bar magnet in the coil, I see deflection in one direction. When I move this coil in opposite direction, I will see that deflection in the galvanometer is also reversed. Let us see an animation with which you will more clear how the current is induced in the conductor. You can see here a coil, a galvanometer and a magnet. Now when I move this magnet in and out of the coil, I will see deflection in the galvanometer. When this magnet goes in, you will see that there is a deflection towards right. Now when I keep magnet fixed and move the coil, I find that there is a deflection again in the galvanometer. So from this we conclude that current is induced in the coil due to relative motion between the magnet and the coil. Now if I move the magnet away from the coil, then I see deflection in opposite direction. Now when I change the polarity, then again it indicates me deflection in reverse direction. So when I move south pole in, then it shows deflection towards left. So from this activity we conclude that north pole going inside the coil indicates the deflection towards right. North pole going away from the coil, it indicates deflection towards the left. South pole going inside the coil indicates deflection towards the left, and south pole going away from the coil indicates deflection towards the right. So from these two activities we understood that whenever there is a relative motion between a bar magnet and coil, there is induction of current in the coil which is associated with the bar magnet. Now let us do one more activity. Here we are going to use two coils, as you can see in the diagram. Coil 1 is connected with a battery and a key, and coil 2 is connected with a galvanometer. Now let us see what happens when we switch on the current. So when you switch on the current, what happens in coil 1? Initially there was no current. So current starts from 0 value and it reaches to a steady value or a constant value. Now during that time, what you find that this coil 2 shows a deflection in the galvanometer. Now when coil 1 attains a steady state, that is in coil 1 when current starts flowing at a constant rate, then you will find that there is no deflection in the galvanometer. Now when I switch off this key, then once again I will see deflection in the galvanometer, but now in opposite direction. So can you give the reason why this happened? When I start the key, when I switch on the key, then what happens, as the current starts from 0 to maximum level, there is induction of magnetic field. Magnetic field is induced around the current carrying coil. Because of this induced magnetic field, as magnetic field induced initially it was 0 to a maximum value, there is a change in magnetic field, and because of that change in magnetic field, current coil 2 shows a deflection in the galvanometer, that is there is not flow of current in the coil. Now when there is a constant magnetic field, that is when current is flowing at a steady state, that time also it has got magnetic field around itself, but now the magnetic field is not changing. So coil 2 is placed in a magnetic field, a constant magnetic field we will say, and because of that we are not seeing any deflection in the galvanometer. Now when I switch off the current, then magnetic field also drops from its maximum value to 0 level, and because again there is change in magnetic field, we again see deflection in the galvanometer of coil 2. Now from these activities or experiment, Faraday observed a current is induced in the coil when it is moved relative to fixed magnet. Current is also induced in a fixed coil when a magnet is moved relative to the fixed coil, and no current is induced in the coil when the coil and magnet both are stationary relative to one another. When the direction of motion of the coil is reversed, the direction of current induced in the coil also get reversed. The magnitude of current induced in the coil can be increased by winding coil on soft iron core, by increasing the number of turns of the coil, by increasing the strength of magnet, and by increasing the speed of rotation of coil. Now let us see Fleming's right hand rule. Now before we see this Fleming's right hand rule, definition of Fleming's right hand rule, here we have seen that whenever we are moving the conductor in a magnetic field, there is induction of current. So this Fleming's right hand rule help us to find the direction in which current will induce. We have seen Fleming's left hand rule. There what we find that when current is flowing in a particular direction, then Fleming's left hand rule help us to find out the direction in which conductor will move, that is the direction in which force act on the conductor. Now here in Fleming's right hand rule, it help us to find out the direction of induced current when we move a conductor in a magnetic field. So let us see the statement. Hold the thumb, the forefinger and the center finger of right hand at right angle to one another. You can see the diagram. The forefinger pointing the direction of field, the thumb in the direction of motion of the wire, then the center finger points in the direction of induced current. So here all the fingers, like forefinger in the Fleming's left hand rule also, the forefinger is indicating the direction of magnetic field, center finger is indicating the direction of current, and thumb is indicating the direction of motion of conductor or the direction of force. Here also the three fingers are indicating the same thing, but here what we say that when forefinger indicates the direction of magnetic field and thumb indicates the motion of conductor, then center finger indicates the direction of induced current. So this is your Fleming's right hand rule. It gives me direction of current. Now let us move to the next topic. The topic is direct current and alternating current. If the current flows in one direction only, it is called direct current, and if the current reverses direction after equal interval of time, it is called alternating current. The alternating current produced in India reverses its direction every 1/100 second. that is the frequency of alternating current which we are using in India is 50 Hertz. Now these terms 50 Hertz, it reverses direction after 1 upon 100 second, all these things we will discuss in detail when we study electric generator. So for the time being, you just understand that there are two different types of current. One is direct current, in which current flows in one direction only, and there is alternating current where the direction of flow of current reverses after equal interval of time. And in India we are using alternating current whose frequency is 50 Hertz, that is after 1 upon 100 second it is changing its direction. Let us again see one animation by which you have a clear idea about direct current and alternating current. Here in this diagram, these small balls, they are indicating electrons, and you can see that electrons are flowing in one direction, that is direct current. In alternating current, what you see that these electrons, they are moving to and fro, that is they are moving forward direction, and then after a fraction of time they move in backward direction. And you can also see the flash of light, it is not constant, it is switching on and off. So here the electrons, they move in one direction, then stop, and then move in the opposite direction, then again stop, and then again move in the forward direction, stop, then move in the backward direction, stop. So this motion is keep on going in forward and backward direction. This kind of current is called alternating current. So you have understood direct current and alternating current. Now we have used a term called frequency. I think you know what is frequency, as you have studied in your sound chapter in your previous class. So frequency is nothing but it is number of rotations or number of cycles in 1 second. Now 1 cycle is what? When electron goes in forward direction, then come to its original position, goes in backward direction, and again come to its original position. This completes 1 cycle. So like that, if there are 50 cycles, I will say that the frequency of this alternating current is 50 Hertz. So in 1 cycle you can see that it moves in forward direction, then goes in backward direction, then again goes in forward direction. So in 50 Hertz it changes its direction 100 times, because in 1 cycle you see that there is change in direction 2 times. So in 50 Hertz there is change in direction 100 times. So I hope the idea of direct current and alternating current is little bit clear to you all. Now it will become more clear when we see DC generator and AC generator in our next lecture. Thank you.